Welcome back to Rivals of the East. I'm host Buzz with co-host Sean, joined by special guests, the Mississippi Crown Jewel, the greatest kicker to come from Mississippi. We're talking Mark, the kicker. What's up, Mark? Thanks for joining, man.
What's up? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And of course, repping your team, the New Orleans Saints, right? Yeah, look at
Who
that.
that?
Who dat? Indeed. Definitely. That's why I asked, like, who their head coach is. Who dat? But regardless, now we're going to be talking 2023 schedules lead, guys, and Miami's is up, Patriots is up, Saints is up. So we're going to break down each of their schedules today and get our thoughts on what we think bold predictions are going to be. And in fact, Sean, do you remember last offseason when we did predictions? How accurate were we on those predictions? I don't know if you remember what they were.
Pretty sure we nailed both of them.
We nailed both of them. I said Miami was going to finish 9-8. What did Miami finish? 9-8. Remember, I said Tua was going to finish with 3,800 yards or less and 25 touchdowns or less. What did he finish with? 3,500 yards, 21 touchdowns. And you were pretty spot on about Mac Jones, right? I mean, because we all saw that he was only going to throw 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, I didn't expect as many interceptions as it was, but yardage threshold on both players were just like within 3.
What I'm trying to say is if you like knowing what the future holds, if you like Nostradamus, if you like the bold predictions, this is the spicy hot take. So this is the hot ones right here if you want to get what's going to happen in 2023. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So basically, fellas, schedules came out. Obviously, everybody's hyped for the season, even while NBA's going on. Go Heat. And I want to talk a little bit here. I want to start us off and I want to kick us off a little bit. I think this might be the easiest one just because the division sucks. But Mark, being a Saints fan, you got to feel good about this year, man, because Tom Brady's gone. The Bucs are going to rebuild. Todd Bowles did just get his degree, just letting you know. So look out. So Tom Brady's gone. You've got what else is going on there? The Panthers are starting little Bryce Young from Alabama. And then who else is in that division? We got Saints. We got the Falcons. They're going all the way with Desmond Ridder, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that's who they're gonna roll with. They're
gonna ride with.
I mean, for as the Saints, like you said, the division sucks. Right now, I don't think we have the offensive weapons to make it happen. And Dennis Allen, I mean, great defensive coordinator, but offensively, I mean, ever since Sean Payton left, the quarterback guru, we've just been on a downtrend. So I see us making the playoffs, probably a wild card spot, and losing like the second round.
Ooh, you think Carr's gonna win you 9 games?
I give him 10.
You give Carr 10?
I give him 10.
Woo, Sean.
I give him 10.
You think it's gonna happen? Because we're looking at the schedule. Maybe. No. No.
Sean, don't do us like that, man.
Sean can't even pay his electric bill, and he's over here throwing shade at Derek Carr. All right. I'm gonna pull his schedule up.
I'm sitting here sitting in the dark with the eyeliner underneath my eyes, just like him.
That's exactly it. Brooding. All right. Let me share my screen. Where are we at here? Let's share this. Here we go. All right. Figure out how to do this. Hold on.
Old man break. Technology in progress.
Oh, I got it. All right. All right. So let me share my screen here. Let's take a look, fellas. All right. So this is from Football Schedules, also known as up here, FBS.com, I think it is. But basically, we got preseason nobody cares about, but we're going to take a look at these games. This is the New Orleans Saints schedule. So now I know first game is going to cause some tension here with your boy, Mark. You're playing the Titans, it looks like, to kick off on Sunday, September the 10th. So Titans, man, I don't know. They got Will Levis. Is Ryan Tannehill even still there, Sean?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, he is? Okay. Maybe he's too busy in his therapist right now because he's got like two quarterbacks to compete with. Mark, how you feel about that? You think we're gonna eat a W there for the Saints on the Titans?
I, I think we lose that game.
You're losing
Um,
home?
yeah, I think we lose that. Again, offensively, I'm not worried about the defense, but I think offensively, it's going to take a while to kind of get that rhythm going. Yeah, you got preseason and practice and all that stuff, but it's different when it comes to game speed. So, um, with the quarterback we have now, I mean, Titans first game, yeah, it's at home, but I think the next week he learns a lot, and we steamroll the Panthers, and we just build on that success from that. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't give us the first game.
So you think Vrabel's gonna come out and maybe win a close one against you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah,
A man of
pretty
many
much.
words. I'm gonna give the dub to I'm gonna give the dub to the Titans as well. The only reason why I say that is because head coaching experience. I think Vrabel's a little more ballsy, of course.
Mhm.
So Titans probably win that one. So Saints start 0-1. So we go to the Panthers next for you all at
Mhm.
Carolina. You
Mhm.
said you think that Saints are gonna roll in there to Carolina and beat the Panthers, right?
That's a dub.
That's
That's
a
a
dub.
dub. Yeah.
Eat that W. Okay. I like Sean, do you think that little Bryce Young is gonna be the little engine that could, or do you think that Saints pick up the W?
He's going to be the little engine.
Wow, you saying 0-2?
The Panthers?
Yeah, listen here.
Wow.
We're gonna start off the mantra that's gonna build, and it's gonna be like 1.5 seasons in the bag, and then people are gonna start to go, I don't know. I think he got comfortable in a dome, and I don't think he could play outside in the weather. And he's gonna be sitting on the ground crying all over again. Raiders repeat.
Oh,
We're all gonna feel bad for ourselves.
so
Wow.
I'm gonna say that the Saints do win that one just because the Panthers are a train wreck. Um, I know that some people argue against that, but they are. It's a learning curve. New head coach, new offensive system, brand new quarterback who can't see over the line. I'm just saying, like, would you pick Gary Coleman to beat Tom Brady? Just saying. All right, so we're going. I'm split on that. I'm going to go with Mark and say 1-1. You're saying 0-2. How about the Green Bay Loves, aka Packers? Because Jordan Love's going to be starting this year for the Packers since Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet. This is in Lambeau. Mark, you feel good about that?
I feel good about it. I mean, I think we'll have a decent rhythm by then. It's not cold, right? It's not freezing yet in Lambeau.
Right.
So I think we've got a pretty good shot on that. You got a brand new quarterback. I mean, yeah, he's been behind Aaron Rodgers, but how many times does Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to uh, Love? You said it was. I mean, I'm
Jordan
a
Love,
love
baby.
seeing the Packers getting their ass beat.
So you see Green Bay losing that one. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So 2-1. Sean, are the Packers going to be at a loss of love?
So here's where it changes up for me.
Uh-oh.
Jordan Love, when he came out of the draft, I feel the same way about him as I do now.
Love them.
Minus a little bit of talent, minus a little bit of the quarterback with the savviness. Jordan Love, don't love him. Don't love
You
him.
don't
I
think
ain't got him on this
you
one.
don't think the Packers are going to hit on 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row?
No. And even if they did, their first year is always terrible if you watch history.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'll give you that. Okay. So we think a W in Lambeau against the Packers. I'm agree with that. I think Packers are in for a learning curve. I think Packers will play competitive football, but I don't think they're going to be as they were in years past with Aaron Rodgers. Now, here we go. Another divisional game, Mark. We
Mm,
got the Tampa Bay
mm,
Buccaneers. This is the Kyle Trask team. All right.
right.
Incorrect.
Or Baker's going to take his job if he hasn't already,
There
right?
it is.
Okay.
There
Well,
it
I
is.
stand corrected. Okay. Trask probably won't beat Baker. So Baker's probably going to be the starter. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So are you picking – now this is in the Dome. Are you picking the Buccaneers or are you going with the Saints?
I'm gonna go with the Saints. but I
Okay.
think it's going to be very, very tight. Um,
Mm.
because Baker has learned that, he's not in Pee Wee football and you can't run around. And with the defensive ends, and we're stacked up on the defensive side, there's going to be pressure. He's going to have to get the ball out quick. I think the only thing that gets us is if the Bucks are able to put up about 24 points.
Mm.
And I think with the Saints beating up on the Bucks last year, I think they're going to come in aggressive. They're going to be like, "What do we have to lose? We don't have Tom Brady. We've got Baker, this gunslinger who just used to, heave the ball down in the Cleveland air. Like, all right, let's see what we got. Let's let the weapons fly. And if we can't keep up with that offensively, I think we score 17 points. We're running the ball too much and we lose."
I think you'll be all right in the dome against the Bucks. I think it's a W for New Orleans. They'll improve to 3-1, in my opinion, at that point. Sean, what about you? Do you think it's a W, or you think Tampa wins this one?
I think this is going to be the early test in the season if Carr is the guy, and I think this is where the questions will arise. I
Yep.
think they lose, and I think this is going to be a pivotal point in the season. This is when they're going to find out if he's the guy or not. And I just think early season jitters. Maybe
Early
they slip
season
up in an ugly game where they're both turning over the ball like crazy.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Two tutties, two
still
picks,
got the receivers. Bucks still got the receivers. They still have a defense.
Mhm.
It's going to be ugly.
It is going to be an ugly game. 1916, probably something like that. Low scoring under 20 points, but
Great year.
yeah, it sure was. So I'm going to go with I think that Bucks win this one in a close dogfight. I think it's going to be nasty. I don't think Baker's going to be throwing any tablets on the sideline, but I do think that it's probably going to be one of those games that's just like you watch it because it's like a car wreck, but it's a terrible game. Now, I don't think it's going to be as great a game and as a nail biter, and probably one of the greatest NFL games I've ever seen is the Broncos Colts Thursday night game last year. Right? I was slowly hearing Al Michaels contemplate suicide on national television, but I think it'll be a little more interesting than that. I've never seen a game that goes to overtime and the whole stadium leaves.
Right. That was bad.
They were gone. They were gone after half.
It's like fourth quarter. All right, so we got a loss there. Oh, but look, here we go. Sunday, October 8th, in Foxborough, we've got Saints Patriots. You feel comfortable going into Foxborough against Bill Belichick with working walkie-talkies?
That's a bye week. I mean, that's a dub. I mean, we can just move on to the next week after that. Because
Derek Carr going to show up and show out?
I mean, we're just going to run the ball. It's October in Foxborough. We've got Alvin Kamara and the rookie, and if Michael Thomas is playing, we'll do some quick screens or something like that. I don't think we even put it in Carr's hands that much, honestly. Mac Jones is going to give us at least a pick, and we'll run the ball out.
Or it could be Bailey Zappi, right, Sean?
No, not a chance. I found a few of those points interesting. If Michael Thomas, if you're already questioning if your number one receiver is going to play, just wrap it up.
Sean, our whole team's success is based around if our quarterback stays healthy.
So I'm going to look at this logic here, and I'm going to go, okay, so if Michael Thomas isn't playing, Kyle Pitts isn't going to do anything, because if you didn't know anything, the Patriots only have 6 safeties that they like to play on tight ends. You have Alvin Kamara. You think Alvin Kamara is going to outrun the whole team? No.
That's what I'm saying. If Michael Thomas, I'm agreeing with you. If Michael Thomas isn't there, then we don't have a deep threat. You stack up the box, and that's a wrap.
Well, I don't know. Alvin Kamara could scare some folks. He could beat them up. You never know.
If it was actually in New Orleans, it would have been a different story. That's what I'll say.
Okay. I'm going to go with Patriots getting a W on this one. And the reason why I think it will, because I think it'll be a close game, but Carr will probably turn it over in the fourth. And that's the only reason why. Either that or a fumble, something's going to happen where it's going to shift the momentum and the clock will run out kind of situation. I don't think it's going to be beat the bricks off of either one. I think it's going to be a chess match, depending on how that offensive line holds up, because as we all know, that Bill did such a great job with that offensive line this offseason, Sean. So
Yeah, if you didn't know, he's only drafted, 5 linemen in 2 years, none that play tackle.
a broken clock is right
position
twice
you
a
need.
day, right? Just remember that. Houston Texans, new quarterback, Stroud. I mean, they got some weapons. They got a defense that's pretty okay. You still feel comfortable going into Houston on this one? It isn't a dome, but
I feel good on that. I mean, at this point, as long as we have some depth on our line, we should be okay. I mean, I'm kind of fine with we'll probably have 1 or 2 injuries by this point, and the next few games really aren't that big. So I'm kind of okay with us not taking a super aggressive approach for as like playing our stars, maybe resting up some people that are banged up.
yeah.
So I think we win this one, and next week, I mean, it's probably an L.
So we're going win against the Texans on this one. Sean, what do you think? You think it's a W?
Hot take. CJ Stroud does not start. Does
Wow.
not
Really?
start the season.
Davis
Actually,
Mills?
I think it will be Davis Mills. I think they're gonna listen. You got Nick Casario there running the show. Very patriot guy, kind of same background. I've seen the same story. I think it's going to get to the point where the seat starts to get warm, and I think this is when he pulls the plug on Mills. And I think this is CJ Stroud's first game starting. Not coming in part-time, starting.
Fair
And
enough.
I think that's where it's going to make it interesting. And I think it goes into overtime and they lose. I think the Saints win.
Wow, in OT against the Texans.
That would be a good
Yeah.
game. That'd
Well,
be a
look
good
at that.
game.
Look at that. Jacksonville Jaguars,
Yeah.
Thursday night game.
That's a loss.
Yeah,
That's a sexy match.
Yeah.
Dougie P going into town there against New Orleans. Yeah, I'm going to go Jaguars win that one. Sean, you agree?
No.
Wow.
What?
You don't trust in
Upset
T-Law.
alert.
Upset
Al
on that one?
Michaels. What an incredible game. I can just see it now.
I think you see a similar scenario where you see Lawrence do everything he possibly can and his team do absolutely nothing for him.
That sounds familiar.
Checks.
Anyway. Okay. Well, okay, so Sean's got that as a loss. Colts. Richardson, maybe he starts. I think he does.
Who's their running back again?
Jonathan Taylor.
Best running back in the league.
I keep wanting to say
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. You know? But no, it's just Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I think this one is a low scoring game, and I think the Colts get us on this one.
Think the Colts win this one?
I think they win this. I mean, we've got good ends, but I think they just do ISO and play action, just Alabama stylists all the way down the field.
Richardson's a big boy too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll go with. I'm going to say this. I think it is a very close game, and I think it's going to come down to a field goal and Saints win it.
Well,
Just
look,
because.
money.
That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's my hot take. Sean, what about you?
This is my lock of the year. I'd put money and I'd double down on it. Lose or not, no chance. No chance the Colts win. 0.0 chance.
Wow.
Really?
I think you're bringing a quarterback who is a very hit or miss, and I think you combine that with what the team has, which is typically they'll do just enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that offense last year against the Patriots. It was god awful. No chance. That's a lock that the Saints win that game.
All right, so we're thinking Saints win that one. Okay. How about Da Bears? in New
Dub.
Orleans.
Dub.
You think? Do you think so?
I think we got that one. I think Carr finds his rhythm.
Okay.
I think he's synced up.
How Carr got his groove back.
I think it's a shootout.
Shootout?
Yeah.
Man, Justin Fields going to be running and gunning.
Yeah. And I think we eke it out by a touchdown.
Okay. 7-point win. I get you. Sean, what about you?
Now, I'm not going to say this because of recency bias. The Patriots got themselves handed an unexpected way last year in that situation. I think Justin Fields is going to improve. I did see a little bit of that last year in him. When it came down the road, he started to progress. Yeah. And he definitely became a better passer. The passing game is going to open up for him. They're going to give him more opportunities instead of running the ball 28 times. They lose in the nail biter. The Saints win.
I agree with that. I do think it's going to be a shootout as well. So Saints get the dub in that one. Now, this is where it starts to get a little interesting here. We got in Minnesota against the Vikings. I think this is a loss for the Saints.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I mean,
now this is not playoff Kirk Cousins. This is a regular season Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, during my fantasy, guy was racking it up during the season. So
don't get me. Don't you get
Sean, who did you have? You had Kirk Cousins as your fantasy quarterback, and who else? Dak Prescott.
Yes.
Mr. Broken Toe.
2 quarterback league.
You kept starting Dak?
No, it went down that way. Every other player pulled it out for me outside of quarterback. Let's just say that.
Cost you in the end. Needs to say, okay, Vikings getting the dub, or are the Saints getting the dub, Sean?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to Costco. I'm not getting the Kirkland brand. I'm not buying it. You're getting rid of Adam Thielen. I just don't. They have questions about Dalvin Cook. I think they're questioning themselves. I think they're going to be a team that is going to be not improved.
I'll say this.
Doesn't make the playoffs. Not even playoff worthy.
Okay, hold on, though. Devil's advocate. Brian Flores is the defensive coordinator for the Vikings now.
Yeah, that makes them competitive. That's it.
Okay, fair enough.
Thielen was absolute trash for me in fantasy last year. He got me like 15 points.
He was terrible.
Twice.
Yeah. He owes you a cut of that percentage for that money, that contract he's got.
Yeah, he's a binky. That's why they have that new shiny toy at tight end.
He's with the Panthers now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we definitely steamrolling the Panthers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Saints losing this one just because I think it's a close one at home for the Vikings, but it will be close. I think Kirkland Cousins comes through like a $1.50 hot dog at Costco when you're hungry. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. Bye week. Saints win this one or lose it? No, I'm just kidding. Bye week here. Derek Carr throws us back out. Coming off the bye week here. So let's recap so far. We got a loss here at the Titans, a win, a loss. We got a win. So that's 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, about 7-4, heading into the Falcons game, divisional matchup in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. What's your take on this one, Mark?
They still got Mariota?
Nope. Desmond Ridder.
They still got that freakish tight end?
They still got Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. I think, like he was saying earlier, I think this is a jitters game.
Yeah.
For Carr. I think he throws a bunch of picks. He's out of his element a little bit. And I think this is the moment where they're like, okay, let's start working out these kinks now so we can secure a spot. So I think we lose this game. We probably have 1 or 2 of the rookies get in and shine. So we get a new breath of life, maybe in our receiver core. But yeah, I don't think we come out ahead on this one.
Sean, what's your take?
I think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Saints walk away with another dub. I just don't. I don't. It's a team that's going to potentially be on the cusp that is going to be able to rival for years. I just don't think right now, I don't think what they have, it just doesn't work, you know?
Mhm.
Team's kind of a head case. As long as
Yeah.
they don't have Matt Ryan having to worry about a comeback, they're good. They'll get there.
The two biggest in NFL history, Matt Ryan was a quarterback for both. How about it? Detroit Lions in New Orleans. I'm going to go with the Lions on this one.
Yeah, I'm not even going to let you have your analysis here. That's a lock in Lions.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I don't think even the Saints just kind of getting ready for the next few games to come are really even that crazy on it. Um, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's an L. And we're just getting ready for the Panthers.
Yeah.
You know,
So
Bears, Lions, and the Dan Campbell scratching at the knees, ripping off kneecaps.
that's it. As they do. Panthers the following week, you're rolling in there 8-5 at this point, it would seem like. Do you take
Dub.
this? Yeah, W? Okay. I was going to say, I think this is a W for the Saints. Sean,
What's that? Who?
do you think that the Saints beat the Panthers here in the Superdome?
No, no, I don't.
Damn it.
Wow.
You're just riding Bryce Young. That's all you're doing. Alabama quarterback fanboy.
No, no, absolutely not. I think it has less to do with that, more to do with the team surrounding them.
Okay, fair enough. So you're thinking they get a W. Okay, so the Saints lose that one. I'm going to say they win. We go with the Giants. Okay, we're in the home stretch, last 4 games of the season.
Mhm.
Giants playoff team, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones just got paid a fat contract. They're bringing Saquon back, it seems like. Everything's still in place. Coaching seemed to be pretty solid, but they did fall off after the Vikings game and got blown out by the Eagles. Do you think that right here, December football, Giants in the Superdome, you think they're going to come into town and win, or do you think the Saints are going to hold on and get that W?
I think we do something stupid, like start doing a lot of shit with Taysom Hill, and I think we lose back to back.
Taysom Hill, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I think this is usually where we just do some fucked up shit where oh we've been doing this and oh we're making small progressions and it's like no it's about to be playoff time we need to do this with our offense why are we not number one in the league and we blow the Giants game and then the next week we're like well let's just do this other out of the character thing and you know where we were blitzing and having success on the outside let's just like send our linebackers and have our safeties play, you know, on the sidelines of zones and just give them post routes. So, yeah.
So you thinking an L there? Yeah, I'm going to say Saquon probably has 150 plus yards rushing this game, and that's what seals it for the Giants to win. It's not going to be a high scoring game, but I think Giants are going to prove that they've got control of this game from kickoff and get the W here. Sean?
I know I might sound like a certain ESPN guy when I start doing this, but we're going to have a weird, wacky Wednesday, like Mark was just saying. I don't think it's just going to be Taysom Hill with some snaps in there. I actually think Carr is going to get injured.
Whoa. You think Derek Carr is going to get injured?
And it gets even better. I don't think Daniel Jones will make it to this game.
Who I don't even know who their backup is. So Danny Dimes gets hurt and David Carr.
I couldn't tell you, but this
Derek
much I could tell
sorry.
you. Brian Dable is an NFL coach.
Yep.
He's very capable of making a game in a pinch. I think with their new offense, with Daniel Jones being able to scramble all the time, and now kind of interjecting that kind of game plan, I think it's going to eventually bite them. I think Carr, we've seen it at times where he stands back there, kind of takes unnecessary hits, may get injured again.
Yes.
So I think there's going to be at some point this scenario where you just run into a game where it's a rock fight between two teams and 5-finger discount, Jameis Winston comes in the clutch.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so funny because I think
that's a tough one.
I think we still lose. I think Carr either, like you said, gets injured or he gets banged up a bunch of times to where he doesn't play the next week, and we went out um, the next two games after the Rams because
Hmm.
I don't see us beating the Giants or the Rams. We, like you said, we're gonna have a wacky Wednesday, and then we're just gonna be trying to throw shit together with the Rams, and then now the pressure's on after that, and it's you make your money or you go home.
Yeah. It's
We
going to be
make
a
our
tough
money
one.
and we go home in his case.
So that brings us last three games of the season here. Mark, you already said it's a loss at the Rams. Sean, is that a W or a loss?
Rams, um, Rams aren't threatening. I don't. They're not who they used to be. I don't even know why he came back and decided to stay coaching or say, oh, Aaron Donald's, going to leave or coming back. They got too many like narratives going on there after
Yeah.
Odell Beckham left. Jalen Ramsey, as you know, has left town and joined the dark side of the Dolphins. I don't see anything about the Rams that's intriguing, interesting, or even semi-capable of winning a game.
I'm going to say the Saints beat the Rams. I know, Mark, you said they
Yeah,
lose,
I'm
but I
fine
think
with that.
Saints beat the Rams. Now, these last two games here, this is where it comes down. This is probably going to be the division right here, these two games.
Right.
Bucks in Tampa and then Falcons at home in New Orleans. These two games, what's your prediction? Are they going to win out? Are you going to split? Are you going to lose out? What's your thoughts?
So the reason why I say the Rams is because of these next two games. I think we rest players with the Rams. We're not playing our superstars that long. We're not, leaving them in for the whole four quarters or having them into OT because, like you said, for this situation, maybe we can only win one game and, we're guaranteed a wild card spot. Or, hey, if we win both, we get home field advantage. So in that scenario, what's the record up to now? I mean, in the division, we're probably
Well, I mean, you're probably about two games that you've lost in the division, maybe three at this point.
yeah. So I think we try and win out and get home, like seal home field advantage.
I got you. I'm going to say that I actually will agree that Saints will win out on these games. I think there's a lot to play for, and even if Carr gets banged up, I think he's going to be back by these last two games, and
Mhm.
so that's going to, at least for one of them, if not both, I think that's going to be enough motivation that New Orleans can see there's a lot on the line to play for. They win these last two games, they seal that division up. Sean, what do you think?
Honestly, I haven't been tracking the wins to losses, but I'm pretty sure I'm like pretty close to a 9-win team, and that's exactly what I think they are. I think they're a fringe positive team when it
Yeah,
comes to wins, and I think the Saints
Thank
will
you,
prove
Sean.
that. Early on, you'll see some struggles, and I think later on, despite some shortcomings with injuries or players not being available, I think the Saints are going to just do enough that you go, they have a hopeful future with a quarterback.
Right.
I think we'll probably be hearing in these last 2 weeks Stephen A. Smith going on there say something to the effect that the Saints are a dangerous team. I always told you that. Derek Carr gonna get in the pocket. But yeah, I think it's gonna. I've got them as a 10-win team based on Mark and I's prediction, pretty much. And Sean, you've got them at 9-8. I've got them at 10-7. So that's our predictions for the Saints. We're going 10-7 as the ceiling, and I think the floor probably about 9-8, barring major injury to Carr for like the season or something like that. Um, Obviously,
Yeah,
we can't predict that stuff, but I think that that's the range there based on strength of schedule here.
I agree. I agree on that. Yeah, I mean the final words I have on the Saints, so this is my team. I think we're very defense heavy. We need one more stud receiver for the outside. You can get a slot anywhere. And yeah, it just comes down to is Derek Carr, like you guys were alluding to, very good point. Is he going to find that rhythm or is he just going to be, the taking the Browns to the Super Bowl essentially, to where he's just dumping picks left and right, and it's the dome control all over again, like in Vegas. So, but that's why I wish we had Sean Payton there. If we had Sean Payton there with Derek Carr, I think it's. I think we're contending for a Super Bowl, and I'm just being honest.
Sure. Yeah. I could see where you're coming from. So that's the Saints. I mean, that division is just straight up trash. But we're going to take a look at another team here, one that everybody's familiar with. And Sean, I'm going to bring it back on over here as I get it pulled up. We're going to talk about Patriots. New England Patriots, all right? So I'm going to pull up this schedule here.
Might be familiar with that team. Not sure.
All right. So, Sean, since it's your team, I'm going to let you take the lead and start off the games here. As you can see, we've got quite a tough schedule. I think you guys are third toughest schedule in the league, strength of schedule, I believe.
Jesus.
Yeah. So New England is third. So I think it's 0.552 is the strength of schedule. But Sean, kick us off here with your week 1 showdown with the Philadelphia Eagles. What you think?
Yeah, what an excellent matchup. It's actually pretty exciting having the Patriots still even in the spotlight that is for me. You know, when that is something to look forward to, I know there's some dark days ahead. The Eagles, great team, many different weapons, many ways to beat you over the head. And I think that's what they're going to do. You're going to see that the Patriots, maybe early on in the season when teams were kind of trying to figure out what they're going to do, are they the same team? Is that the same method they want to go for? I think the Patriots are going to catch the Eagles in that kind of situation, as well as the Patriots. They're both going to be too busy trying to feel each other out instead of just being the better team. I think it'll be slow, but the Patriots are going to get dominated after the half. I don't think it's a competition. You'll see the clear talent on the other side of the field.
Yeah. I would have to say, by the way, could you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say this right now. Patriots will probably show some resilience in this game. I think they're going to play tough defensively. I think that New England is probably going to do a little bit better than people think on offense. But I think the Eagles are just going to be too much with all the weapons that they have. And I think they're going to put up over 30 points. And I think that's just going to be too much for New England. I got Eagles winning this one 31-21, basically. So I think it's going to be a 2-score game. Respectable, though, 10 points against the team that was in the Super Bowl. But that's what I've got. Mark, what do you think about that? Eagles, Patriots there. What's your prediction?
Now, Bill Belichick, you got to take your hat off to the guy, right? He's a coach's coach. He's a man's man. And I think from their best efforts, right, they know it's going to be a loss. But what is Bill Belichick going to want to do? He's going to prepare for the entire season. So I think he will take this time to fundamentally kind of gauge where his team is at, like a spring football game, if you will, And I think you will see a lot of players get better from this situation. I don't think he will shy away from certain play callings that, hey, just because it's the Eagles, we're not going to do that. No, we're the Patriots. This is how we play our game. This is how we play football. Even if, they run up the score a little bit, but I think the players will get a lot better and will learn a lot from it. And I think that's going to help them better on in the season later down the road.
So we all agree 0-1 start for the Patriots here. Now, Sean, woo!
Not to interrupt here. The game's over, by the way.
Heat win?
The Heat will win.
What?
Oh my goodness, Jimmy Buckets coming through. All right, so we're on to week 2, as Bill would say. We're on to week 2. So Miami comes in Sunday night to Foxborough, primetime game, and guess who's going to be in attendance at this game, Sean?
Oh, I know the guy. You know the
Tom
guy?
Brady. Tom Brady. Um, I this is a tough game because it's prime time, and historically we do terrible in prime time. But this Patriots team, are they going to be extra motivated because of the Eagles game or because of the situation right now? Sean, hit it off.
It's going to be ugly, as I think every single AFC East kind of matchup will be and has been for the most part for the Patriots. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be sloppy. And I just think the Patriots defense is going to hold them together. They're just going to do just enough. Maybe it's the extra punter or kicker we drafted when we,
Maybe it's City Sal.
What?
Yeah. They'll pull it out.
Y'all drafted a punter?
And a kicker.
And a
Wow.
kicker.
Wow.
It's the first team to do that in over 10 years.
Yeah, Oakland Raiders, right?
That was the Raiders. That's correct. See, he knew, Buzz. He knew.
I don't care about the Raiders. I'm sorry.
Janikowski and Shane Lechler.
Yep.
Listen, I do think that this game is going to be pretty tough. Before I give my prediction, though, Mark, what's your thought on this game? Who you got, Miami or New England?
I got New England. I think they take what they learned from the Eagles, like I was saying earlier, and I think early on, you see Jones step up.
Mac Jones.
I think he has a better game than people think.
You think he's motivated in this one then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it. A little pep talk from Tom Brady before the game. He's like, "Yeah, I could be the next guy." Tom's
Exactly.
like, "Yeah, you sure could, buddy." All right, I'm going to say that New England wins this one, and the only reason why I'm saying is no, not because of the refs. I'm tired of people like we'd only lose this game if the refs mess with it. No,
Like I'm tired of that narrative because it doesn't exist anymore.
Tom Brady hasn't been there in a while.
People are questioning Bill Belichick for the past 3 years.
Yep.
They questioned it the last year Tom Brady was there. Tom Brady's no longer here. In fact, the narrative's gone the opposite way. It's the swarmy, new, suave kind of head coach, McDaniels. He's goofy. He's quirky. He's funny. He's such a likable quarterback. It's gone the opposite way. Don't you feel bad for him that he's had a lot of concussions? Don't you feel bad for their head coach? People are saying he's smoking a vape pen on the sideline. No, that's what he was doing.
It's a stressful job.
What are we doing here?
Very stressful job.
He gets paid millions to botch calls and blow a playoff game while he's smoking a vape pen to seem nonchalant about what's going on.
It was the walkie-talkies. It was miscommunication.
Yeah,
He may end up like that coach in Thailand.
And the Patriots created a fog machine against the Falcons. Yeah, I know.
They did. I was there. All right, so I do think Patriots pull this one out in a close one, so they'll beat Miami. Now we have the New York Rodgers. You're going to be at the Jets Stadium here. It's the first game of the year against the Jets. Bill obviously has a deep-seated hatred for this team, so much so he traded in the draft just to screw them over.
I feel that.
Do you think the Jets are going to beat the Patriots here? I've got my thoughts.
JETS DMT kicking in yet? No, it's not. DMT is not kicking in for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be just fine. He's going to be clear, focused, new team. I think they got a good defense.
Yeah.
I think they got pieces. They got a more than solid quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Jets.
Yeah.
Fireman Ed comes back from the grave.
Fireman Ed shows up in attendance. Aaron Rodgers looks at the sideline. He sees him. Fireman Ed looks at Rodgers' eyes. There's a minute left. He just nods. Rodgers says, but he looks like a machine elf because he's high on DMT. He hikes the ball, he throws a 45-yard pass, touchdown. So I think that's what's going to happen. Book it. Jets are going to win. Mark, you agree, or you think Mac Jones is going to be Mac Daddy?
I mean, who was the quarterback for the Jets last year?
Which one?
Yeah.
We had Mike White,
and
Yeah.
Zach
Bradford,
Wilson,
Mike
and Joe
White.
Flacid.
Okay. And the receivers, I mean, they showed up. I mean, most of those guys, I mean, they have
Offensive
them
Rookie
coming
of the
back.
Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year, both on the Jets.
At some point, I think a running back also started at quarterback. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, that was the Giants.
Oh, Giants.
Yeah, Saquon was quarterback because Jones got
You
hurt.
can mistaken it. You can
You know,
mistaken it.
It was
with
a New
the
York team,
34
though. We'll give you
attempts.
that.
Was the running back Hall that they had?
They had Brees Hall.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think with those weapons coupled in with Rodgers, I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, I think Jets are going to win this one. Yeah.
You think a blowout from the
I think a
Jets?
blowout.
3 scores?
I give him 2, up 2.
Okay, so like 24-10?
Yeah.
Okay. We got Dallas Cowboys, Sean, one of your favorite teams. What's it going to be?
Semi-improved team. I think you saw Mac Jones in his rookie year actually prove to be a thorn in their side, but I think it was just exactly that. It was just a thorn. They take a step over it and they move past it. I think the Dallas Cowboys will handle the Patriots pretty easily.
It will be Jerry's world, I think. Dak's probably going to play pretty well. Not great, but pretty well. I think Tony Pollard is going to be key in this game.
Yeah.
Since Zeke is a complimentary back now, I think Pollard's a little more explosive, a little more versatile. I think it's going to be key here along with CeeDee Lamb and guys like that. There's just so many weapons, and that defense that the Cowboys have got is stacked. I mean, it's just the Cowboys have a top 5 roster, hands down. When you look at depth-wise, you look at that offensive line, they create holes for the run game. Pollard can hit it. I think it's going to be a trench battle, but I think that the Cowboys are probably going to come out on top, something like a 21-17 or 24-17, something like that. So my money's on Cowboys. Mark?
Yeah, I mean, not too many games played. I think they're red hot, and they're looking to take it out on the Patriots.
I think so too. We already talked about the Saints game here. Let's go to the Raiders. So this is a homecoming here. Bill's going into Las Vegas for his old boy, Josh McDaniel. And correct me if I'm wrong, but does Josh McDaniel have a winning record against Bill as a head coach?
Yes,
or are they tied? Oh, he's 2-1, isn't he? He's 2-1.
As him being a coach, but not the team itself. Yeah, he has a winning record.
Yes. So he's 2-1 against Bill. Is this 3-1 or 2-2?
Actually, he didn't play against him a second time because he couldn't keep his job. That's it.
Oh, so he's 1-0.
So it's 1-0, yeah.
Okay. Does he go 2-0 or 1-1?
He goes 1-1.
You think Bill wins this one? The revenge game for the lateral ball.
I think the game was closely contested for no reason. And I think they're going to have a semi-step back and a cornerback game plan. I think Bill knows what he's got going on. I think it's finally the reversal of the cards. And I think it's the first time in Bill Belichick's history he has the upper hand against one of his former assistant / head coaches. I think Bill comes away with the win.
Okay,
I don't think the Raiders have the backfield defensively, and I don't think they have the offensive firepower outside of Adams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to say that.
Jimmy G's there now, so I mean, obviously, it's not like
dink and dunk. So I think their game plan almost eliminates Devontae Adams' deep game.
I was going to say, I think that strategy is probably Bill's going to force the dink and dunk, and that's not going to.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants.
Yeah. I agree there. I do think Patriots will probably get the W here against the Raiders. Mark?
I'm playing cover 2 all game if I'm Bill. I'm playing cover 2. I'm keeping a safety over Adams. And I want you to throw it deep because you're going to throw some picks. I think the Patriots got that locked.
Yeah, I think we're all on agreement there. Here's a tough one, though. We go back to Foxborough Sunday, October 22nd. The Buffalo Gills. Josh Allen and crew come to town. This is a divisional game, Sean. Is this going to be the opportunity for Bill to finally get a little bit of revenge on the Bills?
I mean, I think he's proven it even in early situations against the team. He usually has the upper hand. There's one matchup almost every year where he has no business beating a team that is just better than them offensively. And I think Bill, don't know how, don't know why. Maybe it's 42 rushing attempts with one passing attempt in a blizzard. Who knows? It always seems to happen where Bill just figures it out. It could be a punting game all game long, and there's one big return. It's going to be one of those games where it's boring, uninteresting. No one can really move the ball. One team makes a mistake and they capitalize.
So you think Patriots?
I think Patriots.
Woo, spicy take there, Mark.
I think he's in my head right now. I think it comes down to the kicking game, and I think
You would say that.
I think Stephen A. Smith is blowing the top because they drafted a kicker, and I think it comes down to a field goal, and he misses, and the Patriots lose.
Wow. Stephen A. Smith say, I told y'all you don't take a kicker in the 5th round.
Exactly. I think that's the headliner. Yeah.
I see, this is where I'm kind of torn because we've seen the Bills be in situations where a game is close when it has no business being close. The Patriots game last year at the end of the season, there was, 2 touchdowns on special teams, Sean? 2 returns for touchdowns that ultimately are what won the Bills the game.
There was a late interception after the game was at hand, and they kind of just chucked it up there. But there was one huge return that just
that kickoff
away.
Right off the bit. Yeah. So there was 14. So 14 points off of kicks run back for a touchdown. You take those away, Patriots would have probably won. They wouldn't have had Max.
Let me give you a statistic.
Okay.
Let me give you a statistic.
Let's hear
out of the 14 scores on returns in the NFL last year that actually occurred, the Patriots gave up 7 of them.
What?
The Patriots gave up more than half of the returns and points that were created in special teams last year. It's uncharacteristic. It's just not a thing they do. Our special teams were awful last year. And as you can see, between punter, kicker, Chris Ford, who they did sign, he's made strides just to improve the overall talent, even if they're just guys that only play at the position. So I think it is shored up, and that probably is no longer a scenario. But in divisional games, anything's possible.
You know what? I'll give the W to the Patriots here in a tough nail biter. I'll give it to them. Go ahead.
It comes down to the coin toss. If they lose a coin toss and they are kicking into the wind, I think the Bills go up.
It's a given.
Yeah.
No, it's a given. What will Bill do whether he wins the coin toss or not?
Exactly.
And defer. No matter what, he's going to defer.
Yeah. So we got that there. Okay, so we go into Miami, Bills, Indian Burial Grounds matchup. Not a good record for Bill here in Miami. I'm going to say that Miami at this point in time, we'll talk a little bit more on predictions on if Tua will be healthy and play in this game or not, but I think just ultimately the way that it stands historically, I think Miami will probably win this game.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to make sense. I've only watched 4 games actually in Miami with the Patriots, and I've only seen them once come away, and it's just
you paid money to watch the Patriots lose trap games to Miami multiple times. We know this,
except for once when Wes Welker ran all over you guys, and
got to give you a show every now and then. Mark, what do you think? You think Miami's going to get the W here?
I think the run game shows up for New England. I
Ramondre
think it shows
Stevenson.
up, and Miami's not able to stop it. Mac Jones is on the sideline sipping a pina colada, and I think it's tight, but I think the Patriots just run out the clock.
Think a low scoring game that they just control TOP.
Yep.
Okay, so we got W there for Patriots in Miami. Uncanny. Now we got coming in here. Let's talk about these games pretty quickly here. Washington Commanders, not much to say. Sean, W or L?
Commanders, sneaky tough team. A lot of people, they just go, oh, we're just looking at the quarterback situation, owners trying to get rid of the team. There's just enough players. I don't know if you know about that Terry McLaurin guy. He's kind of good. He's a
Terry!
greedy writer.
Terry! Get you, Terry? Yeah, I think, well, who's throwing him the ball? That's a question.
Is it Sam? It's Sam something. That tells you how irrelevant their quarterback
That's
is.
exactly. It's Sam somebody. That's the quarterback, right?
Sam Smith?
No. Sam Howell or Howie?
Yeah,
or
it's Sam Howell. You're
Sam
correct.
Howell.
It's Sam Howell.
Howl at the
see,
moon.
See, I knew something. I know a little something. Sam
See,
Howell.
I knew
But
his name. Sam something.
Anyhow,
Show him some
I
respect.
just think it's going to be one of those teams where the Patriots have it. They have about 2 games a year where it's just a team that you go, oh, yeah, the Patriots win it. Well, they either don't win it or it looks terrible, and I don't think the Patriots win.
Yeah.
I think it's just a sloppy game, and they just sleep on them.
I'm going to say I actually will probably agree with that. I think that it is the Bears game this year.
Fair enough.
I think that's what it is. Mark?
Yeah, they lose. Who's that defensive end that Washington has?
Chase Young?
Chase Young.
I think Mac Jones just gets pummeled. Even if it's not by him, if he's getting doubled up, I think the other side is just wide open.
Oh, he gets pummeled, but we signed 3 free agent practice squad tackles. No way.
I've got my thoughts about that. You guys are traveling to Dutchie's Bank Park to take on the Colts. And was it Germany? I think it is. Or
it hasn't been confirmed, but it is believed to be the Germany game.
Okay, so I have to say New England wins the Germany game.
I was about to say I have no analysis.
Because America usually wins in Germany.
Patriots are good overseas, and I think Bill kind of gets them prepared for the long weeks, the short time, whatever it is. I think they typically have the advantage. You have a rookie quarterback playing in a new country. Maybe the lights are a little too bright. Quarterback who kind of likes to put the ball up. I really don't see a scenario where the Colts just win.
I honestly think that Mac Jones looks a little like the prototype German, so he's probably going to get a warm welcome in that country.
I don't know what that even means, but
I think he just looks German. But I think that Mac Jones is going to play well here. He's going to have his head in the right space, especially after that Washington game. I think he's going to bounce back. The team will bounce back, and they'll get a W against a pretty washy Colts team. Mark, you agree with that take?
Guten Tag.
There it is.
Yeah. I think Bill keeps it simple, and that's all they need to beat the Colts. Just fundamentals. Don't turn over the ball, and they win the game.
Bye week coming up after that. So then they go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, facing the Giants. Oh, man. What do you think about this game? Dable, whatever. Bill? I don't know, Sean.
I don't know. Is the mystique still there? There's no Eli. There's no Tom Brady. There's no Tom Coughlin. It's just Bill Belichick. And guess what? Another coordinator turned head coach going against him. Brian Dable wins. Doesn't have to make sense. It's annoying. It pisses me off. It irritates me every single time. Romeo Crennel did it with the damn Browns. Eric Mangini did it with the Jets. He did it with the Browns. It doesn't make any sense. It's going to happen.
Okay, so
Josh
you're saying
McDaniels, I would have gave that, but guess what? This year, they're going to switch it up.
Okay,
Brian
so
Dable, Josh McDaniels loses.
okay, gotcha. So you're saying Brian Dable's going to get the W against Bill at home with the Giants over the Patriots. Mark, do you think Giants beat Patriots?
I think Bill gets strict. He says, throw
He,
it on us.
he gets strict. He's been strict.
Yeah, I think I think he gets super aggressive on defense. I think he comes out in like some nickel formation, stacks the box, and goes, throw it on us. And I mean, who's the Giants QB again? You said
Daniel
Daniel?
Jones and
I don't think
Saquon's there.
I don't think he can handle the heat. I think
Here's here's an interesting question. What week
mhm.
was it that the Saints played the Giants?
I was just going to say they play them about right here, December. I was going to say I think this is the game that Daniel Jones gets hurt.
Yeah,
That's where I
I
was
was
going with
literally
that.
thinking that.
yeah.
I was thinking
And
this is when he's going to
perfect.
get hurt, and this is
Yeah,
when I think New England is probably going to win this game because Daniel Jones gets hurt.
yeah. I
That's
think
why
it's
I
too
think
much.
I
Yeah.
think that's a W because of that. Um, Chargers. Chargers playoff team last year. Justin Herbert leads the NFL in fourth quarter comeback since entering the league in 2020. He threw for 40 touchdowns, 5,000 yards last year with, I mean, who? Keenan Allen was in and out. Mike Williams was in and out. So he was throwing to Austin Eckler and some of the other guys they had there. This is in Foxborough. I actually think that the Chargers win this one, personally.
Unfortunately, I think the reign on the Chargers and the Patriots not losing a single game to them finally comes to an end.
Yeah,
I just, I think J.C. Jackson gets the revenge game. As you may know, last year he was injured when the Patriots faced them, and I think he may get a pick on Mac Jones,
I
but
think, yeah.
he's going
I
to get
think,
toasted besides that.
yeah.
Because
Mark, what
that's
about
just
you?
how he plays.
Blowout. I think Herbert is chilling on the bench by the fourth quarter.
No
I think it's
chill.
not even
Blowout.
close.
Patriots
I
suck
think it's not even
ass.
close. I think he's just airing it out.
Airing it out. I think
Yeah,
Herbert's running up. He's going to pull an old Drew Brees. Fourth quarter, we're
yeah,
up by 20. Go down there
yeah.
somewhere. Marquise Colston. All right, so Chargers get the W here. Pittsburgh Steelers in
Mm,
Pittsburgh. This is a Thursday night game, and I'm going to say that Bill pulls this one out, Sean, because Bill somehow always knows how to game plan against Mike Tomlin. What do you think?
Um, I, you know, they had a nail biter against the Dolphins, and I think that's kind of swaying what I saw last year. I'm just like, young quarterback kind of may not know his place. No matter how bad the Patriots have been offensively, they just do enough. And defensively, I think they give Tomlin led teams headaches.
Yeah,
We have Juju, they don't have Juju, and I actually think that is going to hurt them.
right. They're probably going to
Like
force
it's
Minka to
just
play up.
it's going to be the other way around, and I just think they're going to get exposed because I think Juju's just fast enough.
He's
They
too
couldn't
shifty.
stop. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, that. They're just going to run enough. They're just going to do enough. It's not going to be a great game, like 220 yards passing by Mac Jones, one touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson's going to put in a solid contribution. They're going to get a turnover, and they're just going to hold on to the lead, and that's just going to be it.
They're just going to play sound football, not make mistakes, and just capitalize on the one
Yeah,
mistake that does happen
just,
pretty much. Mark, what do you
yeah,
think?
just
yeah.
execute better than the other team.
I think the Patriots eke it out. I think they're driving down the field. Daniel Jones throws a pick. Pittsburgh has the ball. They throw a pick. Game's over. Patriots win.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Um, Mac Jones throwing a pick this game, maybe. Kenny Pickett, for sure. Kansas City
Yeah,
Chiefs, loss.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm not.
yeah,
There's
I don't even
what's there? What else
analysis.
is there to say? It's a loss. Um,
yeah.
moving on. Denver Broncos in Mile High. Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, defense that's pretty stacked. Sean, this is Christmas Eve. Is Bill going to give
Here it
you a nice
is.
present and get you a W?
Here it is. No, no. I think the
No.
addition of Sean Payton is going to prove to be challenging.
Yeah.
I think Sean Payton, in history's past, has given the Patriots issues, and I think he's just going to push just enough buttons. I think Russell Wilson will make a positive progression this year. He is not going to be even nearly as bad as he was last year. He is going to be good, not great, just good.
Top
I
10 or
think it's going
12?
to be Patriots issues. 10 or 12, excuse me.
Russell Wilson, is he going to be like maybe 10th overall in the league as a QB or top 12 QB?
Exactly there, just skirting 10th.
Yeah. Skirt. All right. So Russ is skirting. Kodak Russ. Mark, what do you think, man? Do you think you agree with Sean's take on that? You think Denver's going to get the mile high dub?
Yeah, Sean Payton has always been good. Everyone always used to talk about how Drew would throw to so many different receivers, but it's just a lot of different game plans that Sean Payton has to bring your best game out for the team that they're playing. And I think, like he was saying, Russell Wilson isn't great, but I think Sean puts him in a position to where it's like, hey, listen, if you just do this, this, and this right,
Yeah.
they don't have too much film on it, we'll win. And I think it's, unless he's just Broncos country, let's ride, and he's high and mile high, I don't think they blow it. I think Broncos win.
I think Russ goes from serving up hot dog and Cheerios to making gourmet meals with old Mr. Magic juicy fruit himself. I think
Yep.
Broncos do get the W as well here. So Patriots lose. Last two games, Sean, divisional games. These are big, big games. You're going into Orchard Park in New York against Buffalo. I personally think there's going to be snow in this game, and New England is going to lose.
See, to the contrary,
Oh, God.
I think the Patriots flipped the script.
Flip the script. You already had them beating the Bills in New England.
That's my, yeah, I mean,
You think they're going to
well,
sweep Buffalo?
I think,
You're high.
no, I think this is where people start to question or
The
to
Bills?
question what's going on in Buffalo. Yes. They're not
Damn.
the same team. I think you're going to see it defensively. They've been relying a lot on those safeties, that backfield to be good for so long. And I think it starts to come apart.
Well, I think you're going to see a sore loss
I
of
mean-
Tremaine Edmonds this season for the Bills, personally. But
I mean, look at what they did last year. Patriots were special teams plays away from making it to the playoffs against the Bills. I think all it takes is the Bills to be sleeping. Maybe
Yeah.
an injury. Yeah.
I still go with-
I think it's possible.
I still go with Bills over this one. But Mark, what do you think? You think Sean's onto something, or do you think Bills just do what they do?
I mean, unless that snow's got some cocaine in it, I think the last two games are chalked. I think that's it. They hopefully get a wild card spot from somebody losing over here or breaking the wishbone on the right angle.
Right.
But I don't see them beating the Bills this late in the season.
Yeah. I think Buffalo wins this one. And then wrapping it up here, Jets. Sunday, January football, baby. Aaron Rodgers comes to Foxborough. Is New England going to play spoiler in this one, Sean?
Patriots are feeling at a all new high at this point in the year. They go, we've had a mediocre season. We played some early bad on football, and they just came out after beating the Bills. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to learn what it feels like to play in a competitive division. I think he's going to slip up, and he's going to have a very bad game.
So you got New England winning the
DMT
Jets?
full on. I think the Patriots win against the Jets. They're due for it every year.
This is
Actually,
true.
For the
This is
past
true.
3 years, they've been due for 2 losses, but that's besides the point.
Mark, you got the Jets winning, you got Patriots winning.
I mean, I got the Jets, but if Rodgers is frustrated with the offense and he's forcing throws, I think New England could squeeze it out.
I'm going to go with New England in this game, actually. Now, here's the interesting thing. Based on where we're at, if New England beats Buffalo and the Jets, according to Sean's takes, New England would finish with 9-8 as their record, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's
exactly where they're at. Yes.
And if they lose to the Bills and beat the Jets, they could be 8-9 with potential for a wild card based on splitting with somebody.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I expect. So my kind of way I look at the schedule and I kind of feel it through as I go, it's one of those situations where you look at the record and you go, are they a better team? But when you actually look at the play on the field and you go, yeah, they have a competent offensive coordinator. The offense looks fluid. It looks like they actually have game plans. They don't see it in the overall record, but I think the actual play on the field speaks for itself. It's not going to look like 5 games out of the year where the Patriots play an opponent where everyone on the field's dead and they beat teams with fourth stringers out on the field. You're not playing against Jared Goff where he's throwing up on himself on the Lions against the Patriots.
It was a 29-0.
I actually think they're going to play against competitive teams and they're going to play a lot more competitive, but the record isn't going to show.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Robert Kraft, depending on the playoff situation, may not think it's enough either.
Ooh, so you think Bill's fired after this season?
I think it could be one more or his last season.
Dude, you look like you're in a witness protection right now making this bold prediction. Like, you got the silhouette, you can't see it. Like, we just lower your voice.
I know. This is vibes. This is a vibe stream going on over here. I got the strobe lights going on in the back.
Oh, look at that. That's that New England clam chowder specialty. Okay, so we got Saints finishing 9-8, wild card at least. We've got New England, according to Sean, going 9-8 with a wild card, or 8-9 potential wild card, if not just miss, according to Mark and I. But I want to talk about our last one here we go over before we wrap up today. I'm going to talk about, of course, who else other than the Miami Dolphins. All right?
It's an interesting team.
So I just want to take this opportunity here to say there's a lot of predictions that are going on here, and we'll talk about this. But as you look at the schedule, what is the over-under of Tua making it? The first thing, is Tua going to make it through the season?
No.
No, I think this is going to be a flat-out no from all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think we pretty much know. Okay. So I want to hear your thoughts as we go through the schedule. What game do you think Tua is going to get hurt then? Because we got the second hardest schedule in the NFL this year. Strength of schedule is number 2, only behind the Eagles. The second hardest schedule, the hardest schedule we've had in I think 12 years. So we're going to go through this game by game here as quickly as we can, but here's what we got. We open up the 2023 season playing in California at home, away, at home for them, the Los Angeles Chargers, the LA Chargers with Justin Herbert. This game is going to be – I think this game is going to be a statement game one way or another. If we come out and we lose this game, I personally think that because Chargers were a playoff team last year, right? And we got embarrassed by them in prime time. If that's the case, again, I think if we lose to the Chargers, it's same old Dolphins for the rest of the year. I firmly do believe that. And if you look the other way around, if we can beat the Chargers, I think Miami might have something. But it's hard to say on this one. Sean, what do you think? I'm going to let you guys get your predictions.
So I'm going to make this analysis real quick, but I'm a disagree. And the reason I say I'm a disagree with what you're saying is I think it's going to be early season. You can catch teams off early, just being on an off day, new game plan, whatever the scenario is. I think they may catch him sleeping. I think with the addition of Jalen Ramsey, Tua coming out, he's going to probably feel a little more fresh. I think the Miami Dolphins can come away with a win here, and they're going to open up the season on a hot streak because guess what? I've seen this trend. This is kind of what they do, and we'll find out later if that continues.
So you got a dub there. Mark, what do you think? You think they get a dub against the Chargers?
No.
Dose reality.
There's no chance. I think Herbert comes back and he is who they say he is. He's Himothy. He's a Himinator. I think Tua is trying to bring a small gun to a big fight. And I don't think he can compete quarterback play. It's a wrap.
Man, y'all throwing shade on Tua, man. I'm going to say this.
Shit, I had him winning.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that Miami probably does get a W here. And I think we're going to get a W because our defense is going to come up with the important stop. Vic Fangio took over the defense. I think we'll get an important fourth down stop that's going to seal the game for us. That's my personal take. I think we do get a win here and start off the right way. Now, we talked about the New England game. I think that's where we fall short in that primetime game and a very close game. But that takes us into Miami where we play the Broncos at home Sunday afternoon in the hot weather. I think that's probably going to benefit us. But here's the other side of it too. Sean Payton knows Vic Fangio defenses. He knows how to scheme against them. So I think it's going to depend on Tua's play on this game. What do you guys think about this one?
I'd agree with that. I think early in the season, you still have that potential where it's a feeling out process to see, this is when we'll actually see if, the offensive genius that is the head coach actually has something else up his sleeve than what he showed last year. I think there's going to be a few wrinkles because I think that's what he gets paid to do. I don't think he's a complete idiot. The guy gets paid for a reason. He is going to come up with some new wrinkles, and I think it's going to come on demonstration early in the year. And if that pans out later in the year is a different argument. I think the Dolphins come away with the win.
And that's exactly where my mind was at too. With that weather factor, the heat is going to be hot. I think with some of those early wrinkles, and I think sitting out 1-1, I think we'll be highly motivated to get this win on a Denver team that's probably still finding their way a little bit. Mark, what are your thoughts on this game?
Buzz, you're not going to like me. That's why I'm glad you're all the way where you are and you can't come across the fence that's up now. But I think cracks start to show in the Miami organization.
Cracks?
And I think this game starts to kind of let the floodgates open.
Ooh.
I think they lose this.
You think they lose? Oh, spicy take. Now, we're 3 games in, guys. Is Tua still starting going into Buffalo?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Which game does he get hurt, Mark?
He gets hurt against the Giants.
So if he's hurt against the Giants, he'll be playing Buffalo there in week 4. So you still got him playing and going into Buffalo?
Yes.
Okay, so I think he's still there too. I agree with you guys. We go into Orchard Park. This time it's not in the winter. We're in the fall. Weather won't be a factor here. We're playing at Buffalo. This is a tough game. We played the Bills close. We split with them last year. It was a close wild card game we had against him with Skylar Thompson playing. I think the Bills at this point, I think they're playing probably fairly well. So I think we're probably going to lose this one. And I think we're going to lose this one because I think this is the game where Tua gets hurt. The last 2 years, in 2021, Tua was in week 2 at home, played against the Bills. AJ Epinesa came off the side, hit him right in the ribs, broke his ribs. Second game of the season. Last year, Tua was playing against the Bills. Week 3, Matt Milano pushed Tua. Tua falls back, slams his head on the turf, gets a concussion. No, it wasn't a back injury. He gets a concussion.
Throwing up
And
gang signs is not a
well,
indicator.
4 days later, he plays the Bengals and he's out for several weeks with a concussion issue. So it's historically the Bills are a bad game for Tua, health wise, sometimes play wise. So I'm going to go with the Bills and Orchard Park on this one. What do you guys think?
I think the Bills are going to win handily. Um, I think his injury will play zero part in that, though.
Regardless, you think it would be the same?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get injured in that game.
Oh, okay. So the curse is over. Mark?
There's always one game. There's always one game where Tyreek goes off. Waddle is just making everybody's fantasy dreams come true. And Tua
Not
actually
mine.
looks like he belongs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Is this
I'm
that
gonna be
game?
the outlier on here. I think the Dolphins win it.
Wow. Mark showing some respect on the fans. Look at that. So, okay, we're heading back home here in a week 5. We play the New York Giants. Brian Dable comes to town. Of course, he was somebody that we were prospecting and looking for head coach. But what do you think here? Do you think the Giants get the W here in Miami Gardens? Do you think we come away with the W here?
Another one of those weird ones where doesn't make sense. Don't know how. Don't know why. Giants aren't going to go away. They're going to be annoying the whole game. I think this is before Saquon Barkley for the 20th time hurts his leg or tears his
God.
ACL. He's going to be just annoying, and they're going to stay in the game just long enough. They'll get the sneaky win. Last
Ooh.
second field goal.
You think Giants win?
Giants win.
Mark?
Tua is riding the high. He's probably gonna walk into the stadium in an all Smurf costume. He's gonna be doing those weird drills that he likes to do that do nothing. And he's gonna be running around like he's Superman, and he gets hurt.
This is the game he gets hurt. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to say that Tua is out for this game already because he gets hurt in the Bills game. He's not back yet, and I think Giants get the W here because of that. I don't think Mike White is going to be enough in this game. Giants, like you said, Sean, are probably going to be good enough to hang around this early with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and everybody. So Miami's going to be sitting at right now in a precarious position. Now, going into the next week, we're at home against the Panthers. I think this is where Miami kind of gets our bounce back game. We get, okay, we're feeling pretty good. We tune up here. We change a few things. Mike McDaniel comes up with a few new schemes that do some wonders for us on the O-line, and the run game kicks into play here for against the Panthers, I think. I think Tua is probably this. I think this is the game he's back for is the Panthers, potentially. So either way, with Mike White, I'd still feel comfortable to say that Miami beats the Panthers in this one. Sean?
This is the game. This is the game I'm going to get the 22 text from Buzz 30 minutes into the game because it's inexplicable, just bumbling of the ball. The Panthers are just going to start pulling away early, and Buzz is going to be besides himself. He's going to be blowing up my phone going, I can't believe this mediocre team. Look at Tua. He's looking terrible against a trash Panthers team. And I'm going to sit here and try to crutch him emotionally for the first hour and a half of the game that they'll bounce back and they'll ultimately lose.
You think
I think they'll be talking about a different Alabama quarterback that game.
Oh, so you think this is where Bryce Young shows up Tua?
I think this is where it comes.
Man, little Bryce Young? Mark, what do you got to say about that? What's your take on this game?
So I think the coach is going to be thinking about last year, and they have a win with Carolina. They know they have a loss with the Eagles. I think he sits Tua out for 2 games.
Okay.
They win. They win against the Panthers.
So you think Mike White plays another week? Tua sits out for safe reasons and just rest up and still get the W. Yeah, that's my take too. I know Sean has got a lot more faith in Bryce Young than we do. We'll see, but that's where I'm at with that. Now, listen, I've been a Dolphins fan all my life. And I also know the pain that comes with that. And if anybody thinks that we're beating the Philadelphia Eagles in prime time in Philadelphia that Sunday night, you're out of your mind. This is a loss.
That's why you don't play
Mile
him.
away.
Yeah, you don't play him.
Mile away. Tua plays or not, this is a loss.
Yeah.
It's just there's too many weapons. They can run with Sanders and the others. They've got the passing game. Jalen Hurts can run. They can play deep ball. They can play dink and duck. They can do RPO. They can do play action. I mean, Vic Fangio is going to do a lot for a lot for our defense this year. Will we be a top 10 defense? No, we will not be a top 10 defense, but we'll probably be like on the edge, like 12th in defense as opposed to 24th. I do think, though, that the Eagles, man, they're just too dynamic. We won't be able to keep up with that, I don't think. That's my take. That's a loss. Sean?
This is where it happens. This is where that injury starts to play.
2 Alabama quarterbacks in a row.
I think this is the game where Tua gets banged up but not taken out. I think someone's going to land on his leg wrong, and he's going to be gimping off the field at some point.
Oh, boy.
And he's going to come back and finish it out, but I think Mike White will come in at some part of this game. And I think Tua will finish it, but it will be a loss, obviously. Yeah. I just don't see a scenario where...
Now, see, a Mark scenario, Tua comes back for this game. What's your prediction?
He's still out.
Oh, he's still going to be out.
Yeah.
This scenario I see.
I'm just worried about Hassan Riddick just coming off that edge. Yeah, Austin Jackson's going to whiff, and he just gets nailed.
This is a scenario where I just see Mike White comes in and immediately goes down the field, and immediately everyone starts going, Mike White hot. White hot, and everyone starts doing that, and then he throws a pick in the red zone, and they're like, all right, well, that's it.
The Zappy effect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so loss at the Eagles. Now, New England and Miami, we talked about as well. This is going to be a W for Miami. Mm-hmm. We go all the way to Germany to play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Loss.
This is, yeah, there's just – listen.
That's the game.
I want everybody to understand something. I love my team. I have been a diehard fan, but we have to keep it real here. The Kansas City Chiefs, in a quote-unquote rebuild year, won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Okay? Think about that. The Kansas City Chiefs, without Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce actually playing even football with everybody, the run game starts to pick up, the O-line they fixed. In one season, Chris Greer, the O-line was fixed. Not because they went with cheap injury-prone players who were shore-offs from the New England Patriots or the Jets.
You're right. They paid money to get Patriot linemen to shore up their offensive line.
Listen, they weren't injury-prone, okay? But what I'm saying is that the Chiefs are better than us in the trenches. They're most certainly better than us at quarterback. They were better than us in when it comes to the run game, I think, because of the offensive line. You could argue that the receiving core, Miami has a better receiving core because of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. But I think when you look at the lack of tight end that we have no real threat at tight end. Durham Smythe is not a threat at tight end. Travis Kelce is a threat at tight end. I think when you look at how the Chiefs and how Andy Reid's he's an offensive genius. I think the Chiefs win this game pretty handedly. I think it's pretty close in the first half, and Chiefs pull away in the third quarter, and it's kind of just like fourth quarter's whatever, game's over. That's my take. What do you guys think?
Similar scenario, actually, to what you're saying, except for I think during the Patriots game, there's going to be the quarterback controversy of Mike White starting. Tua starts. Tua plays a little, doesn't finish the game. He's going to roll into this one beaten and battered, and I think that's exactly how it looks because this is the game that puts him out for the year.
Whoa, so you're saying Tua gets hurt for the year in Germany?
I think Tua will be done in front of the crowd, biggest stage. America will see it. Germany will see it. Everyone will see it.
Dude,
His classes didn't work. He lands on his head, and he's done.
so you're saying concussion?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You
He's going to
see,
be gimping from that ankle. I think he's going to get rolled up on, and I think it's just going to put the nail in the coffin.
he knows
And I
judo.
and I go this far. I think Patrick Mahomes, midway through the third quarter, will be on the bench because
Yep.
Whoa.
they'll pull the starters.
Yep. I was gonna say the same thing.
Pisses
Man.
off the Germany fans. They don't know what's going on, but they're clapping and they're cheering anyways.
Yep. They'll be
We
happy
don't-
when they see the kickers.
Mark's going to suit up. Mark, what's your
I don't
take
know.
on
Who
this
do you-
game?
Here's a question. I don't know. Who do you think's more astute? UK fans or Germany when it comes to football?
UK.
Because every time I look at the UK, it'll be like the Dolphins and the Jaguars playing, and I'm like, and they're both playing terrible. And they don't know. They're just excited to be there.
Yeah.
UK. Germany has standards.
Oh,
I don't know.
Big Ben?
Listen, Mark, what do you think about the Chiefs game? You on board with that?
Yeah, easy dub for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Easy. Mahomes is chilling.
I think we lick our wounds going into the bye week. And Sean's scenario too is out rest of the year, but Mark and I will have Tua still coming back after this bye week probably. Gives us-
Rebuys himself a big burger and moves on.
Yeah, so we go into Miami to play the Raiders here, and this is coming after the loss to the Patriots. The Raiders will suffer by our predictions. I think Miami's going to hand the Raiders a loss here as well.
Yep.
I think Miami bounces back and we get a win against the Raiders. I don't think it's a pretty game, but I think Tua comes back and plays okay. I think he comes back and he plays 260 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. We get Jeff Wilson runs for about like 80 yards. Mostert's got about 50 yards, so we get over 100 yards on the ground. Achane, this is where Devin Achane starts getting utilized more because we're at kind of dire straits. It's go time. Get some things going, kick the tires here. So it's where we start seeing those game plans. You know, after the bye week, how that goes, you start seeing some wrinkles and stuff like that. So I think we get the dub on the Raiders. Mark, Sean?
Dub.
Mike White.
Mike White.
Coming in hot.
Boo, boo. Like a fajita.
Jason Hope carries over and just blows it when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You pick Raiders?
X jet fashion. Mike White will throw a pick, seal the deal. Josh McDaniels will go home happy.
Man, you sound like a Patriots fan. Everything's doom and gloom. We go to the Jets here. We're playing the very first ever Black Friday game against the Jets in New York the day after Thanksgiving, and it's a special prime game. Al Michaels going to be calling this probably from the morgue. So I'm going to pick here. This is going to be a very tough game. I think Tua rolls in here, and historically, Tua doesn't always play the best against the Jets or divisional teams. I think it's going to be a very ugly football game for him, and I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way in the fourth quarter to get them in a position to either kick a game winner or get the score, and I think the Jets will. I do think we split with them, but I think this is the game that the Jets come away with here.
Yeah, I don't. Tua's out. Mike White playing against his old team. I don't even care for that storyline, quite honestly. Aaron Rodgers seals it. He actually makes his team some money, and the NFL's pissed off because one of their, new debuted games for that time slot is wasted because the quarterback isn't even playing.
Yep.
Mark, you on the same page?
Yeah, even if Tua's playing, I mean, he's not matching up. It's
a tough
loss for
defense,
Miami.
man. Jets got a
Yeah.
tough defense, man.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. So that's a loss. Go to the Commanders here. I think this is a game where Tua probably shows that glimmer against
Mm-hmm.
a solid defense that gets people saying maybe this guy, is playing good football. I think Tyreek has a good game this game, or Waddle, one of the two. And I think that Miami is going to wind up going into Maryland and pulling off a pretty solid W here, probably like by 10 points. I think McDaniel's going to be pulling out a lot of stops here. I think you're going to see the ball get distributed a lot all over the place. I don't see the deep passing game, but I see the yak game, the yards after catch coming into play with Tyreek. A lot of motion here to try to throw off and get blocks on Chase Young and guys like that. So I'm going to give Miami the W over the Commanders. Sean, what do you got? Are you still there, Sean?
Sure.
Yeah, if I could stop fat fingering it, yeah.
Okay.
So just a disgusting game. Just kind of similar scenario with the Patriots where you just look at two teams and you go, bleh. Yeah. Commanders, Dolphins don't have their starting quarterback. Sam Howell, he's not a starting quarterback. Mike White starts the first half and he gets benched. He gets benched.
Skylar Thompson time, baby.
They've seen two back-to-back games where you just go, yeah, we've seen enough. Skylar Thompson time. Makes it interesting. Makes the win. Pulls it
I agree
in.
with that. I think Thompson gets the W then if that's the case. Regardless, Mark, what about you?
Yeah, I think you guys get the dub on that one. I think Tyreek probably has 3 touchdowns. He's throwing up the peace sign, everybody getting the fine.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he has a really good game. Washington is like, throw it deep. We dare you. And Miami's like, okay.
Exactly. Last 5 games here, guys. So Tennessee Titans, primetime Monday night game in Miami. Titans are a tough team defensively, but I don't think they really have it offensively outside of Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this is such like a toss-up game for me because if we have any injury on that defensive line, Vic Fangio historically his defense is not good, particularly against the run. So I think if the Titans can get Henry going pretty quickly here, it could get out of hand. But I'm going to say in this scenario, Miami does enough and they do their due diligence. The defense plays up there in the box and we win this one in an ugly game on Monday night.
Just another ugly game. Doesn't make any sense. Feels like weird things are stringing together. Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill, who's
Will
playing?
Levis?
Who's starting? Oh, there's going to be some stuff going on there, and it's going to be musical chairs at quarterback.
Yeah, I think that instability is going to bite them, to be honest. Who you got, Titans or Dolphins, Sean?
I got the Dolphins.
About time you came around. Mark?
They're into his ear. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. The Titans are going to give us a turnover. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, Miami wins.
I'm going to say this is the game where Tua doesn't throw any touchdowns or interceptions and only gets about $180.
For another day, but what an interesting situation going on in Tennessee at quarterback.
Yeah.
You
What a
could call it
complete
interesting.
dumpster fire.
I just call it idiocracy.
Waste of money,
Yeah.
waste of draft capital, whatever you want to call it.
Stupid.
You got Jake Cutler essentially playing out there. Tua 1.0, and then Dollar General Lamar Jackson.
Yo, put some respect on Dollar General, okay?
GG.
You're looking at I was going to say if he was a little better, he'd be 5 below, but Anyways, okay. this is this is where we go, and this is where I think the wheels come off for us, unfortunately. I think, in my prediction, this is the game where Tua gets knocked out for the year. I think that we get enough with Skylar Thompson and or Mike White because it happens in the second half, but this is the game where Tua is going to wind up getting hit because Austin Jackson is an atrocious right tackle. Maybe it's Isaiah Wynn because Austin Jackson gets benched. I don't know, and Isaiah Wynn just blows out his ACL from moving.
Yep.
Either way, this is the game where Tua's going to get hit. Something's going to happen. I don't know if it's head. I don't know if it's his knee or his hand or his entire body. But this is the game where he goes out for the year. And I think that we pull away with a very close win here because I think our defense gets a pick on Rodgers. I think Ramsey gets a big moment here where he picks off Aaron Rodgers in this game. Or maybe it's X. I don't know. Maybe he comes back to form or Javon Holland back there. Somebody. Cam Smith? I don't know. But somebody's going to get a pick on Rodgers that's going to seal the deal for us. But we really lose this game because Tua is going to be out for the whole year. We get the W, but Tua is out for the rest of the year. Mark?
I don't think this is a surprise. Miami, like you said, gets maybe a fumble. And I think Tua's still playing. He again is like, okay, so if I don't throw any picks like I did last game, even though I didn't throw any touchdowns, we win the game. I think it's a very conservative game plan.
Yeah.
To try and keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And I think they come away with the dub, but I think next week against the Cowboys, I think Tua just gets rocked, and then he's out. I think he just gets rocked.
Sean, you got a W against the Jets here?
I think just like my luck with car situations in the past 2 years,
Oh, God.
you just can't seem to get around it, and it just continues to be a problem.
You think Tua's gonna get towed off the Toa? You think Tua's gonna get towed off the
Tua's not
field?
back. Tua's done, remember?
Yeah,
He's
I
not
know,
coming
but
back.
that's right. You got Mike White starting this game. Well, who am I kidding? Okay.
No,
So you got
no. It's Skylar
Skylar's
Thompson.
gonna. You think
You're on
Skylar's still gonna secure it? Okay.
that. I just let the young guy go.
I agree.
Let
I
him
like
go.
Skylar, man. He's got some. He's 25.
They saw 2 tough losses with Mike White in the hands, and then saw another half where he started turning the ball over. And I just think they got, you know what? Let Skylar Thompson finish out. Starts
Okay.
playing back, put Mike White back in.
So does Thompson win this game?
No, he does not.
Okay. Jets get the sweep.
Can't get out of his own way.
Okay. So Dallas Cowboys, Christmas Eve. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Please don't put Tua in the ER. But according to Mark, he is going to the ER. Dallas Cowboys in Miami. I think this is a loss for us. Based on my prediction, Tua's out. I think Tyreek Hill doesn't have his best game, but I think Jalen Waddle does really well this game. I think he's going to have a strong performance that helps keep us in on third downs when it matters for Mike White or Skylar Thompson, whoever's starting. I think the run game, we get Achane back in here. This is another big game for Devin Achane. But I do think that the Cowboys, dude, they're just too stacked, man. Offensively, defensively, we just can't keep up with that. And they're going to start pulling away, and then there's no way we're going to be able to keep up with that realistically. Of course, I could be wrong. Maybe Dak Prescott's injured. If it's a different quarterback, could be a different situation. But barring a major injury, I think Dak, even if Tua was healthy this game, I just think Cowboys are too good a football team. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Mark.
I could game plan this game right now if I was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
What is
Press Tyreek to the outside with a safety over top. Press Waddle to the inside. We've got our linebackers sitting there. And just use our front four to destroy Tua because he's going to choke and he's going to hold the ball and he's going to pump and he's going to get absolutely shellacked.
He knows judo.
So
Listen, I'm just saying, maybe Tua. I don't know what's going to happen. Anybody tries to mess with that man, he could be the most lethal quarterback in the NFL. Okay, you put that man on that field, he's going to have his gi underneath. That's what I think. I mean, listen, I like Tua, man, as a person. I think he's a cool kid. I think he's
Oh,
good. I think he's a real level-headed guy, and it just really sucks that. I mean, let's face it. The Dolphins don't want him. If you're listening to this and you think the Dolphins want him, you're out of your mind. They've tried to replace him every single year, and in this year, they didn't even sign him to a long-term deal. They gave him a fifth-year option. You know why they gave him a fifth-year option? Because it provided not draft. It provided us cap space.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave him a fifth-year option, provided us cap space, and with that cap space, we made moves to sign guys, to try to trade. We've done all kinds of stuff. So I don't, I don't want to hear this. We want him. We try to replace the guy every year he's here. He's always getting hurt. You're always going to be looking for the best option there.
Yeah.
I think Miami, like I said, loses this one. Mark, you got them losing. Sean, you got them winning or losing?
oh, Christmas tree, what does Skylar Thompson bring to me? I wake up late into the third quarter, as I have in a similar fashion, I believe against the Cowboys, in fact. Matt Moore-like situation occurs
Oh,
where it doesn't make sense. Don't know what's going on. Keeps him in the game, and he upsets the Cowboys.
Skylar Thompson gets the dub. I like that. Mark?
I think Tua's a great guy too, but yeah, I think he's been level-headed too much. His head has been level with the turf multiple times.
Mark is holding on that one the whole time he's snacking on that bag of Doritos.
So-
He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
So
You
I
could
think
say-
that's it. I think that is it for him.
Mark, you're gonna be saying in the eighth. You're gonna be saying by week 10 in the season, dude, where's my car?
Yeah. Dallas. After that, he's done. He's like Waterboy with the guy who's got X amount of concussions left.
Listen, Bobby Boucher's intensity is second to none. He might be the greatest football player in any movie's history. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's high quality H2O.
Man, so we go from playing a few weeks ago the Five Below version of Lamar Jackson to going into Baltimore and playing the actual name brand Lamar Jackson. New Year's Eve in Baltimore, probably going to be snowing, I would imagine. God, man, this is such a tough game because I think Tua is out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think will be an annoyance to them because I think McDaniel's probably going to draw up his best coached game of his career in this game. That's my bold prediction. He's going to draw up his best coached game against the Ravens here because he's going to have to. We're going to have to win these last two games to stay alive in a playoff hunt. But I ultimately think that with the weapons that the Ravens have a little bit on offense, if they can keep healthy and Lamar still there, I think that the Ravens probably would wind up pulling it out. Just because if we don't have Tua there and we're using Mike White or Skylar Thompson, somebody's going to make a mistake ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where my head's at with that. Sean, what do you think?
Nonsense continues in the league.
Miami wins?
This is going to play in the hand of the Dolphin fans. Lamar Jackson doesn't play that many games, and Tua, blah, blah. Tua returns.
Tua returns?
After his 4-game stint of sleeping on his bed in a cot and waking up in a basement. Just in time for the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar Jackson will not be playing because he himself will be injured.
Wow. Damn. So does Miami win this one?
Miami wins it.
I'll take that
Doesn't
timeline.
need to make sense. Doesn't need to be great. Doesn't need to be pretty. They just win it. With the combination of half a running back because they'll all probably be out by the time Tua returns.
We're going to be running Ingold, I think, at that point.
Might have Jalen Waddle taking handoffs at that point.
Tyreek Hill, Wildcat.
Ingold might be injured because he's running too many wheel routes.
Dude, give me Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Wildcat. Come on now. I'll take
Ooh,
that. I'll take
that'd
that.
be nasty. That'd be nasty.
Mark, what do you think? Ravens game here.
I think Lamar's hungrier than me chomping on these chips. And if he's playing, if he's healthy, I think he's going to try and do everything he can to make a Super Bowl run. He's going to be year one Lamar running around and trying to do shuffle passes like Patrick Mahomes. The Miami Dolphins are going to be beat up, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to try and capitalize on that. I think Miami loses.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. Final game of the season here, guys. We play at home in Miami, thankfully. The Buffalo Bills come to Hard Rock Stadium for a Saturday night game, more than likely. What is your prediction on this wild game?
If the Bills,
Late season heroics.
Okay.
Nails in
Yeah.
the coffin. It's done.
yeah, if the Bills have
Tua
a
comes
playoff,
back.
oh, go ahead. Sorry, Sean.
No, you're good.
Tua comes back.
Tua comes back, and it doesn't matter. Late season heroics are over. He wraps up the season knowing this will probably be his last game of his career.
Wow. So, not as a Dolphin, but as his career.
His career.
See, I think I'm going to be a little less doom and gloom on my prediction. But, Mark, go ahead. You were talking about.
I think if the Bills have locked in a playoff spot, they're not starting the starters, and Miami just gets, the pity dub.
Well, listen, last year, Sean, do you remember this? The Bills didn't have to play starters versus the Patriots, but they wanted that first seed, remember?
Yeah.
And they said it wouldn't have mattered, but they wanted that first seed just because.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably do something similar here. I think they are going to play starters. I think that Miami is going to try and do everything they can, but I think ultimately it's going to fall short. Something is going to happen. And I think that Tua probably comes back this game because it's potentially his last game as a Dolphin with the way things have gone from our prediction this season with the injury concerns and all. And I think that he probably plays many fans will like this because he knows it's his last game. He's probably going to play one of the worst games of his career.
Beautiful.
And I say that not because he's bad, but I say that because he's not going to be afraid to just chuck it downfield all game. Personally, I think it's one of those situations where look at the last game that Ryan Tannehill played for us. It's horrendous. I think it's a situation like it's a send-off where it's like, all right, appreciate the last 4 years. I think it's time we got to move on. What happens after that with Tua? I don't know. I don't think it's the end of his career, but I do think that, as we look there, see, this is why I'm torn, man. I want the Dolphins to win, man. The last time Miami won a playoff game, I was 10 years old. 10 years old. I just want to win a playoff game.
Hey,
Not this year.
That's it. That's
you gotta play
it, man.
game, just in a different sport. That's all.
Listen, the Heat don't let me down. I appreciate Jimmy Buckets, but I'm just saying, like,
They let you down last year. I mean,
listen, Jimmy's knees were shot, all right? The man was taking cortisol shots in like halftime. He was like Aaron Rodgers, my knee. I mean, he tried his best. He went to game 7 when it had no business going that far because the Heat played through sheer will. And they got the W tonight. But all I'm saying is that I'm looking for one playoff win. We came close. We had no right being that close. But I personally think the Bills, the wheels are falling off. I think that the Bills are an 11-win team maybe this year. But I think that they are going to beat us because of injuries, because of other situations beyond our control. I think we keep things competitive. But, man, I'm telling you right now, these AFC East games coming up, Mark, you can attest to this, looking at the lay of the land here. These AFC East games are going to be brutal games, brutal games. They're going to be physical. They're going to be nasty. They're going to be played all over the place. And you have arguably two of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. 2 of the top 5, okay, on average over the last few years in the same division. Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. I mean, now I want to clear the air here too. So real quick, prediction-wise, so we predicted Tua would get hurt, which we kind of figured, but what do you think his stats are going to be for the season? Sean, what's your prediction?
3,000.
3,000 yards?
3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. Ain't going to play enough. Just not going to play enough.
Yeah. Mark?
16 touchdowns, 7 picks.
How many yards?
2,500.
2,500. Okay. I'm going to say, based on my prediction, I'll go over what we think Miami's going to wind up at. Tua's going to finish with about 3,600 yards. He's going to have 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. I think you can see that.
If I had
to miss, I think 5 games. I mean,
yeah.
Crazy.
So I think that's fair to say. Now, with our predictions here, okay, I'm going to go over this list. We had, if it's according to Mark and I, well, I'm going to go by my calculations first. So I had us beating Chargers, losing Patriots, winning Broncos, losing Bills, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. Let's see, 3-4, 4-4, 4-5, 5-5. Then we had 5-6, 6-6, 7-6, 8-6, 8-7, 8-8, 8-9. Based on my prediction that Miami would finish at 8-9, and so with Mark's prediction, they would finish at about 8-9 as well. Sean, with your prediction, Miami would be finishing with a record of 7-10.
Damn.
I mean, that sounds most accurate, honestly.
So, oh my God. So Patriots and Dolphins battling it out for third place tie in the East.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
God, dog, man. Okay, if Tua stays healthy all year, I'll eat crow. But I think you heard it first. This is where we move on in 2024, and the rebuild starts soon after. You heard it. This is what's going to happen.
Maybe the Dolphins are flirting with a familiar player. I hear he's available after the season ends.
Tom Brady?
The player.
Who?
Ryan Tannehill.
Oh my God, man. If we sign Ryan Tannehill, I might just trade my card.
Budget, he's familiar, you know him. You have some offensive pieces. Maybe there's a chance. I'm just saying there's a chance.
Listen, Mark, the Saints have got a shot. Patriots have got a shot. Dolphins got a shot. I think all 3 of our teams have got a shot at the wild card if the things go right.
Just that.
But I don't see any of these 3 teams as major contenders.
No.
And I know some people are going to say, hold on, your roster, Chris Greer's assembled. Listen, Chris Greer has assembled a roster that is very top-heavy, and I give him kudos to getting star players like Jalen Ramsey on a rental for 2 years. We still got X, even though he regressed very badly, and you could hear me in the podcast from last offseason where I said we should trade him while he still has value. You can see that we've got Christian Wilkins is playing solid. We've got Bradley Chubb, who's hit or miss, more miss than he has hit because of injuries and performance-wise, but we'll see how he does in Fangio's system. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. You've got a decent running back room, especially with the addition of Achane. I think overall, though, depth-wise, we have so many players signed in this team that are just injury-prone. Our depth is not very good depth. It's like if you had a team in Madden and like all your starters are like 88 and up, but your depth is like 65 or lower. That's basically how Miami's. And you're not going to win in the trenches. You're not going to win in the long haul if you don't have depth. And I think that's where it's going to come out, and we're going to see that. Sean, New England's kind of similar too, except when on the defense, they've got a lot of depth.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are a just blue collar through and through. Like there's literally like you're making a sandwich, no pretzel bun. It's just generic, gets the job done, fills you up, nothing spectacular. Like that's just who they are. That's how Bill builds a roster, though.
His food
It's-
preference?
I mean, on Subway commercials, so it sounds about right. But
He didn't even say anything.
he doesn't have to.
He just
goes,
looked.
"Nah."
I don't know. It's going to be
Grunts.
interesting. It is. Well, all I can say is we've got a wild season ahead of us. You heard it here: 9-8 Saints, 8-9 Patriots, 8-9 Dolphins, potentially 9-8. We'll see how it goes. Wild cards up for grabs all across. Mark, man, thanks for joining us tonight, going over these schedules. Great to have you on the show. I know you're out
anytime.
there. I know you're out there streaming, man. Where are you streaming at?
So I took a little hiatus, but yeah, when I come back, it's Mark the Kicker. Follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Snapchat, all the same. Just don't have it copyrighted yet.
There you go. So, Mark, appreciate you being on the show. And guys, we'll see what happens this season. And until next time, adios.
See ya.